Hello, welcome to the Lucy Show. Oh, I'm sorry, this is not Lucy. This is the B Circle. Even though occasionally we act like Lucy and Ethel around the table, we are really the B Circle. It's Donita, T, Tisha, and Angela, and Julie is still got her hiney setting down. But she will be back, I promise. She's going to celebrate. Girls, we're almost at 100 episodes.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Is that exciting
That is
or
exciting.
what? So Julie will be back to celebrate, and she's going to be loud and boisterous and probably have blowers and everything. So Julie, we love you, and we know you're recovering and you're doing better, and we're going to be excited for you to be around the table with us. Okay, girls, let's jump right in. Let's talk about storms and stormy weather.
Stormy weather.
Because we're not built to avoid storms.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay? We're built to sail through them. And the question isn't whether they're coming.
Oh, yeah.
The question is, are you ready for a storm?
Right.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is your house in order?
You know, I think the key as I was studying this topic, I went to Matthew 14:27-31, where Peter was telling Jesus, if it's you, tell me to walk out on the water. Come on. And, you know, when he took his eyes off of him, that's when he sank. Well, it's the same when we're in stormy weather. If we'll keep our eyes on him, we're going to make it through the storm. But the moment we take our eyes off of him, that's when we start catching water on our boat.
So I'm going to say this to all of us around this table. Because listen, ladies, gentlemen, grandmas, aunts, uncles, you're not the only one that walks through stuff.
Yeah, we all do.
Just because we're sitting around this table and we have something to say, it's because we've been in storms.
Yep.
Right.
And storms, I want you to hear me, storms are not a sign that God has abandoned his promise.
Yeah.
They're a sign that God's promise is still alive and moving.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah.
And when you have a word from God, resistance is inevitable because the enemy doesn't waste ammunition on people going nowhere. I like to say it this way. Thieves don't rob vaults that are empty.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's true.
good.
So if the enemy is after you with a storm, it's because God is about ready
To do something.
to show up
Yeah.
and do something. Because if I'm in a storm, and I have been,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to interpret it as evidence that I'm carrying something valuable.
Well, you know what you just did when I'm listening to you. My notes here says our perspective has to change in stormy seasons. And so what you're saying, you said, I'm changing my perspective.
That's right.
In my stormy seasons. And what does that mean? How I see it, my viewpoint. Because I have found if all you're going to look for is bad, negative, what's wrong, honey, you're going to find it.
That's right.
Don't amplify.
That's right.
Yeah, you will find it if that's all you're looking for. But when I say, okay, I'm going through a storm, it's real, it's hot, it's heavy, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling the waves of it. But if God was still God and God is still faithful and God was still good when there were no winds, when there were no waves,
Right.
he hasn't changed.
Right.
My circumstance, my situation has changed. God hasn't changed.
That's
So he is still God, good, faithful, all-powerful,
Right.
even in the storm.
Still good.
Still good.
What is that? Lilo and Stitch? Little, broken or something, but still good.
Yeah.
We're still good. And you know, in Mark, you talked about when Peter walked on the water. But then in Mark, Jesus tells the disciples, let's go to the other side. You guys know that story. Then the storm hits.
Mhm.
And the disciples, oh, they were so full of faith, weren't they? They began to panic. Just like, you know, I had a panic. I'm just going to be honest with you. I feel like you're going to grow more from my real talk than you are from my pretend talk.
Right.
I have been panicked over the last few weeks over some stuff that I've walked through. But so were the disciples. But I want you to notice, Jesus gave the destination without giving all the details of the journey.
Yeah. That's
You know, he said, we're crossing over. He didn't say exactly how we're going to get there. And that's where faith lives. It's in the gap between the promise and the performance. That's where faith, in the middle.
In that middle.
In that middle.
That
And you
messy
know, we don't like that middle, do we? I don't like the middle.
It's messy.
But that's where we get the promise and the performance.
Yes.
is when we can stand strong in that middle part.
Absolutely.
Well, I think in the middle, that's where you're developed. That's in the middle, that's where your prayer life strengthens.
Oh, that's so good.
Right.
In the middle, that's where your worship goes deeper. And I have said to myself, and like you said, PA, I had to learn this and grow in this because I had to walk through some stuff.
Right.
And I said, I am going to go to sleep at night and I am going to rest.
Oh, come on, T.
I am going to rest because I've prayed. I've trusted God. I'm going to go to sleep trusting you. God, I'm going to wake up trusting you.
That's right.
I'm not going to lose sleep over nothing anymore because it took too much out of me.
Absolutely.
I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to rest.
You know, I feel sorry for the people that never go through storms.
Yeah.
At least by their verbalization, to hear them tell it, they never go through storms. Nothing's ever bad.
Right.
Everything's always good.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for people like that because I'm like, how did you learn to really trust God?
Yeah.
Right.
If something didn't come to make you use your faith.
Right.
Because storms aren't anomalies. To me, they're part of the territory of following Jesus.
Yeah.
Because every week there can be a storm.
Absolutely.
I just got to choose to not let the water in my boat.
Well, let's look at Jesus goes and gets baptized.
Oh, yeah.
The heavens open. A dove descends, and the Father says, "This is my Son in whom I'm well pleased." Then he drives him to the wilderness to a storm.
Come on. Sure did.
And he spent 40 days in there being tested. And then when he's weak, the enemy comes to him.
Right.
And we need to be real careful that when we're weak, worn out, tired, that the enemy doesn't have an inroad to talk to us.
Oh, there you go.
That's so
Because he
good.
began to talk to Jesus when he was tired, worn out, and began to tempt him. But it says when he came out in power
Yeah. That's
and
so good.
anointing. And so when God gives us a promise, you almost can look for the test
That's right.
to receive the promise that
Right.
you've been given.
To stand on that word
to
of faith.
stand on the word that was given us
That's right.
to come through it.
That's right. You know, your son, one of your sons is a commercial fisherman.
Right.
So he has a big boat, and a boat is made to go through storms. Okay? Not to avoid them, not to sit in the harbor. A boat
Right.
that's never tested by water is a boat that doesn't know what it's capable
Right.
of.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right?
Absolutely.
So here's what most people don't understand. A boat can make it through a tsunami. I am Lucy. A tsunami, a hurricane, anything that the ocean throws at it, as long as the water doesn't get in it.
Yeah.
So think about it. The problem you're facing isn't the storm outside. The problem is when the storm gets inside you. When you let the circumstances of your life penetrate your spirit.
Right.
When you start agreeing with fear. When you start thinking, well, am I going to make it? Or did God really say it? When you start doubting and you allow it inside you, that's when you sink. So the battle is about keeping the water out of your boat, not about the waves stopping it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the safe place is in the boat because
Yes.
Jesus is in the boat.
Yeah.
So our safe place is in the promise and in the promise of the Lord. And, you know, when we get in a stormy place, I really do ask the Lord, Lord, this word, there's something in this word that will keep me strong in the storm.
Yeah.
And I don't flip my Bible open, but I'll begin to read through some things. And always the Lord gives me a word to stand on
Absolutely.
through the storm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, too many times I think, even me, I'm putting myself in this. We see a storm, and the first thing we think is, oh God, my faith is weak. Oh, I haven't been confessing. I haven't been declaring enough. And I'm in this storm and God has left me. But that's wrong.
Right.
The presence of your enemy is an indicator that God's promise is still alive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Still alive. If the devil's not fighting you, you're not a threat.
I was just about to say that. Yep.
Okay? You're not carrying anything he fears. But if you're in a storm, glory be to God, you ought to lift up your hands right now and just say, God, I thank you for the storm. Because it means you've got something he wants to stop. Come on, B Circle.
Yeah.
Right.
It means he's got something, you've got something in you that he wants to stop. And that should be good news. Because the disciples were where Jesus told them to be.
Right.
They were right where Jesus said be. They were doing what Jesus told them to do, and they got a storm.
Right.
So obedience doesn't guarantee smooth sailing. It guarantees you're going somewhere that matters.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, he said, in this world, you'll have trouble.
Yes, he
Take
did.
heart.
Right.
I've
Yes, he
overcome
did.
the world. And so we know we're going to face it. You know, PA, I often think of what you've drilled this in our heads at church. And I love this because I cling on to it all the time. But you've always said, in the middle, you're at the middle. It's just as close to either go backwards or forward.
That's right.
So even in the storm, you might as well just go on forwards because it's the same distance to go either way. You might as well face it head on.
Oh, don't you hate it when somebody starts preaching your own word to you?
Right. Right.
Preach it back at-
Don't preach that back at me,
Right.
Tish. No, but you're right.
It's truth.
It's-
I cling on to that.
That's right.
Because so many times I want to give up too. Like, you know, you just get weary, you get tired, but then I have to remind myself, no, if I'm already halfway there, I might as well push on and go
Keep
forward.
going.
Right.
Keep going.
That's what I think, you know, when we travel, we go somewhere and it starts getting late and I'm like, oh, just 3 hours.
Yeah.
Just 3 hours. Why do we have to stop? In 3 hours, we can be home.
Right.
Same thing with a storm. Don't go back. You just got 3 hours. Just keep walking.
Just keep going.
Just keep moving. Because, you know, I like that in Mark 4. After Jesus calms the storm, he looks at them and he asks them, where's your faith? Not where's your comfort? Not where's your good feeling? Where's your faith? That's what he wanted to know. Your conviction. Where's your conviction about what I told you?
Yeah.
Because the storm was real.
Oh, absolutely.
It was real. The fear was real.
Right.
But the word was realer. Is that a word?
It is today.
The word was realer. You got to develop a posture where your faith in God's word is stronger than your reaction to what you see.
Yeah.
Right.
So good.
Yeah. My husband was going through a job transition. He'd been in a manufacturing job in a lead position for over 20-something years. And it had become toxic and it was time to move on. And so he was shifting into the school system and he was telling me about it. And should I do it or shouldn't I? I said, have you prayed about it? Have you talked to God about it? And he's like, yep. And I said, okay, then that's what it'll be. And as he's going through this and things are happening, he looks at me, he goes, you're way too calm about this. It's making me nervous. And I said, you prayed about it. We're trusting God with this. I am believing that no matter what, God is going to take care of us. And then I clung to the word. We're tithers. We're sowers. He rebuked and vowed for our sake. He'll make sure that our barns are filled. I am going to trust God in this.
That's right.
So that's why I'm calm. That's why I can have peace in that storm. Doesn't mean I'm not concerned about some things. Doesn't mean that comes up every now and then.
Right.
But I'm telling you, ladies, I'm going to bed and I'm going to sleep.
Because the trying of your faith works patience. And I love that word you just used about calm. Because here's what I wrote down. Preparation happens in calm.
Absolutely.
Because it's something that will change your thinking. You don't build an ark when the rain starts.
Yeah.
You build it while the sun is shining. Remember Noah?
Where everybody
God
God crazy.
Yeah. God will give you an early warning. He gave Noah 100 years to build. The disciples had Jesus in the boat with them. He was in the boat. Peace was in the boat.
Yeah.
With them when the storm hit. So I want to ask you a question, B-Circle listeners. What are you building right now in your calm season? What spiritual foundations are you laying? What relationships are you strengthening? What faith convictions are you establishing? You need to do it now while it's calm.
Oh, it's calm. That's
Because
good.
when the storm comes, you won't have time to get ready. You'll only have time to remember what you already built.
Yeah, that's so good.
So you've got to build now.
Yeah.
And you know, I have to say this to myself. You ain't going to build in front of the TV. You're not going to build on the phone. But when it's calm and you're blessed and everybody's healed and everybody likes you,
Right.
what are you building during that time?
So good.
Because you're going to need that to embrace the storm and get through it.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you about the storm just a moment. My son is a commercial fisherman, and he said when a storm hits, you pick up the anchor.
Oh, wow.
You do not hold on to where you are because then you can capsize. But you have to pick up
Wow.
the anchor and put it in the boat and let the wind and the wave take you as you ride with it through the
Wow.
storm. And how many times do we fight the storm?
We fight it.
We anchor in the, I'm not going to let this whatever, instead of letting the Lord ride us out through the storm. And we may get wet, but we won't be capsized holding on to before.
That's right. Because Jesus had been teaching them all day. They'd been in the classroom. He was telling them the parable of the sower. He's talking to them about everything. And then he said, let's go to the other side. And immediately the storm hits. And I said earlier, I'm having problems with my words. Early? Yeah. Anyway, he said, let's go to the other side. There comes the storm. But it was a test. It wasn't a punishment.
Yeah.
No.
And Jesus was saying to them, everything I just taught you in the classroom, let's see if you actually believe it when you're in the boat getting tossed around.
Yeah.
That's what your storm is doing. Know that or not, believe it or not. It's testing whether what you said you believed actually moves your behavior. God's saying, well, is your faith real? Are you just talking?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that just do a lot of talking. And when the storm hits, they fall apart.
Right. Everything that I've heard, now I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to trust. I don't know what to do, what to say, and everything. I read this comment here. Your obstacles or storms aren't here to drown you, but like you said, but to teach you how to swim.
See, look at that. Look at that. And I just had the thought, when you navigate a storm with your faith intact, you don't just survive, you transform.
Oh, that's good.
And I don't want to just survive my storm.
Right.
It feels like that it's been stormy for me for about a year. But I don't want to just survive this storm. I want to be transformed.
Right.
Because the disciples got out of the boat changed.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
They did. They'd seen Jesus speak to the weather.
Right.
They'd watched the weather obey him.
Yeah.
Now, if they didn't know he was the Son of God, they knew it then.
Absolutely.
They had felt their fear and had to choose faith anyway.
Yeah.
That experience, I believe, that day rewired them. Same people, but they had a new capacity. So your storm, if you're in one, Angela, the storm you're in, isn't trying to sink you.
Right.
God is using it to build you into something or somebody who can handle the next level of assignment.
Right.
He's also moving you.
Yes.
There's movement going on here because the assignment over here was greater than this. This assignment was teaching, laying foundation. This assignment was deliverance.
Oh, that's good.
But you had to put the teaching into your heart to be able to walk into deliverance ministry. And we know that we can know a lot, but it's different when we put it to work.
Yeah.
And other people get set free by watching us survive our storm.
So when you walk through the storm, what God's trying to do is make you into someone who knows the voice of God above the noise of the circumstance.
Right.
Because that's all a storm is circumstance.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Peyton, you guys hear me talk about Peyton all the time, but he's got this little habit. When he hears a new sound, he'll cup his hand over his ear and he'll go, "Oh, Papa, you hear that?
Oh.
You hear that?" And that's what God wants us to do.
Yeah.
He wants us to hear him in the storm, above the waves, above the wind. Can you hear me now? Oh, commercial. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I feel like sometimes God lets the wind blow. He could stop it at any moment, but he's like, I need you to hear me. In all the noise and all the chatter, I need to know that you can hear me and respond to my command.
Yeah.
We've talked about that a group of kids can be out playing, but your kids cry.
You sure do.
You know exactly, that's my baby. And I think that we're not listening sometimes to God who said, "Oh, I heard you cry."
Yes.
That's my baby.
That's my baby.
And and you can hear them coming. They can hear you because the minute that you start toward them, they start saying, "Mama." mama. And I think the Father's looking for us to go, Daddy,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Daddy.
Yes. Well, you know, we're going to challenge you. If you're in a storm right now, stop running. Stop blaming God. Stop waiting for God to calm it before you decide to trust Him. Start practicing faith. This week, say, I'm going to practice faith in the middle of the chaos. And I'm going to do like Jesus, and I'm going to speak to my storm like He spoke to his. I'm not going to speak from panic. I'm not going to speak from conviction. I'm going to speak from the word God gave me. And I'm going to watch what happens, because when you stop letting the circumstances get inside your spirit, hear that. The water may be rough, but your boat is built for this.
Yeah.
And when you come out on the other side, you'll be ready for what's next. So know this today. Circle friends. Stormy weather doesn't mean you're off course.
Right.
It means you're on course, and the enemy knows it. So let's just do that old Imperial song. Sail on when the water gets high, sail on. When the wind starts to, rise? Sail on. It's just a matter of minutes till the ship comes to get us, and we'll all get in it. So we need you to sail on today. Don't stop. We need you to be all that God's called you to be. And if you're in a storm, it's temporary, and you can change your course in this storm. Just trust Him and obey Him. Listen, like and follow us, whatever platform you listen or watch on. We need you to like, subscribe. Like my friend T said, share it with your homegirls, because we know there's some homegirls and homeboys out there that need to hear what we got to say. Hey, we'll see you next time. Hi, Julie. See you next week.
Thanks for watching this week's broadcast of The B Circle, sponsored by Faith Builders House of Miracles. If you would like more information about The B Circle, the ladies of The B Circle, or how you can partner with us, simply visit fbhom.church/The B Circle for more information and ways to connect with us. Remember to be all that God has called you to be. See you next week.